Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome everybody to episode 252 of Dude and Monkey. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever, I am joined by
Ian Loring, drinking orange juice.
I am. Guess what I'm drinking?
Pepsi Max.
Pepsi Max, of course I am. A nice fresh glass of Pepsi Max. My podcasting.
You got some ice cubes in there, or you just keeping
I have 2 ice cubes in there and a wee little slice of lime.
Nice. Was the bottle in the fridge? So was it already chilled and with ice cubes?
It wasn't already chilled. No, I don't keep the bottle in the fridge because I find that what tends to happen there is with Pepsi Max, if you take it out of the fridge and leave it out of the fridge for too long, it goes flat once it's been cold. And Isabel has a habit of taking it out of the fridge and not putting it back in. So I end up opening it and going, "Where's the?" When I open it,
yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I just leave it out and add the ice cubes there to give me that burst of cold.
That is one of those ones where it is like, this is bullshit. Like, what the fuck is this? You know,
yeah.
Just keep it in the fucking fridge.
Yep.
Like, I'm fucking dreading the days when Lottie's that old, and it's just like, why are you such a fucking dick? Just stop.
Yeah. I do spend half of my time looking at Isabel and thinking, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, I probably spend about 20% of my time, like, thinking that about lots. Well, no, 20% is probably too much, but fucking, like, just she has this amazing grump that she can do. It's fucking amazing. Like, just properly throws herself on the sofa, just going, nah. Like, makes that noise and throws herself on the sofa. It's just like, I'm going to have to step out for a sec. Fuck off.
Yeah. For your safety, I am leaving this room.
Yeah, just for my sanity, I'm just going to step out and grab a drink or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you have a brief little respite where they become lovely between about kind of 6 and about 10. And you've got a good 4 years where you're like, they're really pleasant. Yeah. And then sort of like at 11 and 12, you're starting to go, oh, God, they're a bit, you know, they're starting to get their own opinions and stuff, but they're consistently wrong and invalid, and they're nearing teenage years. Then once you hit teenage years, you're like, you're just a shit and I don't like you.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a time. It's going to come up quick.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do we have today? Well, we have it's here, isn't it, Ian?
Oh, this is a special episode because the main review is the mighty Rampage, but I think this is a Mark Foster Appreciation Society episode, to be honest, because I think the other two reviews are just Mark ballparks. I mean, to be fair, Rampage is an Ian. It's an Ian time, you know. But
it is. It literally is. Like when they were writing this, there was a little photo of you at the side, and they kept on going, I don't know. Who's gonna buy? Who's gonna go? Who's gonna want to go? Like, not just go and see it, but actually want to go and see it. And somebody keeps picking it up and going, "This guy, this fucking guy."
Yeah, do it for him. And the thing is, right? I kind of, this isn't part of the film, so I'm going to talk about it now. But I did a little accidental tribute. You know, early on, that nerd guy says I should say, like, all the girls love him. I should shave my head. Do you know what I literally did that night and didn't even think about it and then realised after, fuck me.
What?
I got home, Donna was away with Lottie for the night. It was like, I'm a bit bored. What should I do? I know, I'll get my clippers, set them to number 2 and just shave my head. And then I fucked it up. So then, on the Friday morning, before work, I was in the shower shaving my head with a Gillette razor.
Oh, so you've properly shaved it then?
Yeah, like, because I've done it before last year.
Yeah.
And now it's properly. I'm not. The thing is, I'm not a fan of the look. I just wanted to save some fucking money. But then I realised after that it was an accidental tribute to The Rock.
It is, yeah.
Like, and it was like, because the thing is, I genuinely been trying to get my hair cut last week, but like it just I was trying to do it in my lunch break and it was always busy in the barbers I use, and I got home and I was like, fuck it, I'm a bit bored. Why not? I may as well just give it a go, and I fucked it. Like, because but what I was trying to do, right? I was like, the back of my head, I got a razor. And I was doing the back of my head, and I was trying to, and like, because I'm a fucking idiot, I was like, yeah, I can get it in line, it'll be fine. No, I can't.
Nope.
No, I can't. What the fuck am I doing? Like, so, like, it is the last time I self-medicate my hair. You know, but that was basically, yeah. And then, like, afterwards, I was just like, fuck, there's that bit. God, I hope to God Paul has not seen Rampage, because he will fucking rinse me. And the good thing is, by the time this podcast is probably up, I would have started my secondment in another department, and I won't have to see Paul.
Because will he rinse you about it and say,
yes,
do you want to be The Rock?
Yes, he's going to text me. Or he's going to email me. I know he is. But fuck you, I'm off managing another team, Paul. Like, you can't get at me.
Right.
That's where we're at.
After Ian shaved his head in tribute to The Rock, we cover Hurricane Heist, and we're also covering Into the Night.
Indeed.
Plus the usual tangents, which we've already had a couple of, and we'll also be doing some what we've been watching. I've actually got quite a bit of what we've been watching, I think, here. Yeah, I do actually have quite a bit.
I got Uno, which is a nice trade. Because it is usually the other way round, so it'll be good for you to kind of run that shit. Yeah,
I've got quite a few. What have I got there? I've got 6. I've had a productive week.
Very good.
And I know that I'm looking at those 6 and going, it could have been 7, because I did start watching. Cause I realised out of the mild tangent and a spoiler for what I've been watching next week, is I've never seen the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movies.
Oh, have you not? Okay.
I've never seen him, which makes no sense, because I've really enjoyed what he's put out recently. So I thought, you know what? They're on Prime. Fuck it, I'm going to give it a go. So I've watched the first half of the first one, and I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest. So
yeah.
I'll get to that. I turn it off because Bex fell asleep.
Oh, okay. Well, was that because she was tired, or is that...
that was because she got out after work and a couple of glasses of wine, then come home and had a bottle of wine, and then was asleep.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'll let her off on that one. Anything film related we need to talk about before we get into trailers?
I don't think so.
Don't think anything's happened, does it?
No, I mean, like the Cannes lineup came out, and
is it?
Was that last week? I'm pretty sure that was last week. Yeah, and like that Cannes are a bit miffed about. There was this lost Orson Welles film that Netflix have kind of paid for the restoration for, which now can't play, which is funny. And the new Alfonso Cuarón film, which is shot on 70mm and being released through Netflix, which does seem a little... I bet he's not super thrilled about that, and I can kind of get... that's one I can get.
Yep.
So that now can't play Cannes. Even though apparently they are still talking. But I don't know, like the way they've been going back and forth, it does kind of feel like now that ship sailed for at least this year. But the rest of it, there's only... I mean, I think it's interesting there's only 2 American films in competition. Excitingly, Spike Lee's new one.
Is that in competition?
Yeah, Black Klansman. Which looks... And it made me laugh as well. Did you know the one person who is in both of those films?
No, who is it?
Mark, 2018 is the year of Topher Grace.
It's been coming.
Topher Grace is back.
It's with he's been hiding in the shadows for far too long.
It's
That's a hell of a cast actually that he's got in that.
Oh yeah. Looks really interesting. And then I think it's
Shit, is that a Blumhouse film?
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a Blumhouse film.
Yeah, no, it is. It totally is. Yeah, you're right. It is.
Huh. Jordan Peele's producing.
Producing it. Yeah. That's right.
All right, I'm officially very interested.
It looks fucking... Yeah, I'm bang up for that. Bang up for it. And also Under the Silver Lake, which is David Robert Mitchell's latest, which is his follow-up to Shit Follows? Yep, it is.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But what is it? Andrew Garfield's in that as well.
Yeah, Riley Keough.
Okay, I mean, why not? I'll give it a go.
I'll happily give it. Well, I'll happily give it a go based on trailer and what is it?
Yeah. Topher's in it, like why not?
Yeah, bit of tough.
Topher's back. But then. What else is... Right, let's see how many directors we've heard of who have films playing in competition in Cannes. What do you reckon? Should we do this?
Let's go, yes.
Right, okay. So, Cannes... Okay, so the 18 films announced so far. Stepan Breeze... Heard of him or her?
Nope.
Okay. Lee Chang-dong.
Heard the name, but not... I can't picture which film he's done.
He won Best Screenplay at Cannes in 2010 for something called Poetry. He was in Director's Fortnight with Peppermint Candy, and he was in competition in 2007 with Secret Sunshine.
Nope.
Okay. Asghar Farhadi.
Nope.
He did a Separation.
Oh yes, of course he did. Yeah.
Okay, so Matteo Garon. The guy who directed Gomorrah.
Gomorrah, yeah, he's got a new one out, hasn't he?
Yeah. Okay. Jean-Luc Godard.
Never heard of him. Sounds wank.
Nice. Ryusuke Hamaguchi.
Nope.
Okay. Christophe Honoré and Honoré.
No. Would laugh my ass off because his surname is basically pronounced Horny. Yep. So I'd remember that one.
Okay. Eva Husson.
Heard of, yeah.
Okay.
What was it she did?
Sounds pretty good, actually. It's the story of an armed group of women resistance fighters who come together to take back control of their Kurdish town that has been taken over by religious extremists.
I'm for that, yeah.
I'll fucking watch that. That sounds good. That sounds good. Okay. Hirokazu Koreeda.
Nope.
I know the name. Nadine Labaki.
Nope.
Oh, she did Caramel back like years ago. I know that film, but I haven't seen it. Okay.
No, but I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Spike Lee, David Robert Mitchell, Jafar Pahani.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah.
He did. This is not a film.
That's it. He did. Yeah.
The Iranian one that he had to smuggle out of the country.
Yep.
Okay. Pavel Polakowski. He did Ida.
Ida, yeah. And I did something else. Was it Last Resort? Did he do?
Yes.
Yeah, thought it was.
Was it him who did that? My Summer of Love, the Emily Blunt.
It was, yes. Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, he did. I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him. Alice Rohrwacher.
Yes, recognise that one.
Okay. Kirill Serebrennikov.
Nope.
Okay. Abu Bakr Shorki.
Yep.
Oh. Apparently it's a first-time filmmaker.
I'd heard the name, so it must be related to that film.
Okay, cool. And Gia Sankey.
Nope.
I did A Touch of Sin a few years back. Okay, I know of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a pretty fucking Palm Dory lineup there, I think.
Yeah, it is a very Palm Dory lineup. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Feels. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, they're opening with the Paul Dano movie.
What's that now?
Wildlife, another one he was directing when he died. Was directing with his wife.
Oh, it says here the opening film's the Asghar Farhadi film.
Is it? Ah.
What's the Dano one called?
Wildlife.
Don't see it here.
Yeah, that's the opening film, and Guy is the closing film.
Yeah, why the fuck's all not? That's weird. Alright. Anyway, so that's Cannes. So, over the course of the next 5 years, we'll probably talk about half of those at some point. It's not like the Oscars, is it? Where it's like...
No, it's not, to be honest, no.
I'm going to make sure I watch all of these, but, we'll see. The one about the resistance, the women going up against the religious extremists sounds interesting. It's called Girls of the Sun. Yeah.
For that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well that's Cannes. I think that's pretty much all that has really happened, so yeah, moving on.
Trailers. What have you watched, Ian?
Hotel Artemis.
Yeah, I watched this, yeah. Alright, yeah.
I hadn't heard of it. I'm going to watch the fuck out of that. That looks fun.
Yeah. At first I was like, I'll be honest, at first I was like, oh, God. Jodie Foster was like, shit. I think it was the first thing I said. And then as it went more and more into it, it's like, that's an interesting cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same. I will watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's written and directed by Drew Pearce, so that's interesting.
Who did the last Mission Impossible? Not didn't direct it, but I think he wrote it, didn't he?
I thought maybe he co-wrote it with Macquarie, because
he would have co-wrote, won't he?
Right, Drew Pearce. Okay. That's right. Yeah, he wrote Iron Man 3. With Shane, well, kind of with Shane Black, and yeah, he's got a credit on Mission Impossible, yeah.
Right, give me 2 seconds. I think I have a really random fact for you about this guy. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just check a picture of him. Yes. Do you want to know a really odd random facts about this guy? Because he's British, right? I had a conversation with this guy once at an event in London, right? Because I remember him saying that he was down to write the new Mission Impossible, right? And I remember kind of thinking, I didn't remember his name, but I remember that. And then I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, that's him. Do you know what the event was? In London. It was that event thing that got put on for Eat, Sleep, Live, Film.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, we went for a drink afterwards. Quite a few of us, didn't we? And I remember chatting to him at the bar.
Hang about, that guy was Drew Pearce?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
When the fuck was that?
That must have been 2011, 12.
Because there was this guy I was talking to, but it can't have been back then though, was drunkenly saying that he had a hand in the new Mission Impossible film. But
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Cause the thing is, because I remember that, and I remember talking.
It wasn't that guy, was it?
No, it was, but he because what he was saying was it wasn't that one, it was the next one. That he'd wrote the story for the next one. Because I remember saying to him, what, the new one? And he said, no, the one after.
That guy was Drew Pearce.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. I mean, he was a nice guy as well.
He was a nice guy, yeah. But yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because I just looked at him and thought, because for some reason I have a good memory for faces, and I remember looking at him thinking, holy shit, yeah. Because I was looking for a picture of him with glasses on, because he had glasses on.
Yes, he did. I remember that, yeah.
And without glasses, it doesn't look like, it looks like it might be him, but it probably isn't. And then as soon as I found a picture with glasses on, I was like, holy shit, it is.
I need to find a picture of him with glasses on. I remember him being younger, but... No, hang on. Yeah, that... No, but he's not the same guy. Hang on. Hang about.
That looks like the same guy to me. His Wikipedia profile picture is the one I'm looking at.
Wiki profile.
Because in all the ones on what is it? It doesn't look like him. And the Wikipedia one, like, that Wikipedia picture is clearly before he got a little bit more dollar.
Yeah, all right, okay, that's really fucking weird,
isn't it?
That's really fucking weird. Right, fair enough. He gave me his fucking business card. I swear to God, like, I don't think I've got it anymore. Well, no, I won't have it anymore, but Christ.
Yep. Fucking hell.
Wow,
I was very drunk that evening.
Yeah, man, everybody was fucking hammered. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Wow.
Anyway, yes, trailers, what else have you seen?
Jesus fucking wept. Right, okay, so yeah, Hotel Artemis looks fun. Ocean's 8, Nate's trailer for that, where it's like, yep, it's an Ocean's film.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Basically.
I'm looking forward to half of it, and the other half of it worries me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which I would say exactly the same thing about the Ocean's movies.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Incredibles 2, which looks like, that's Incredibles 2. Basically.
Incredibles too late.
Yeah, well, yes, that is very true. That film does really, I think I've said it before, but that film does really feel like Brad Bird saying, like, I need a hit.
Yeah, it does.
Like, it's just it's just, when he did Mission Impossible 4, he was just like, right, that's me, on the up, here we go. And then he did Tomorrowland.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, now to do my passion project, because that worked out really well last time. Oh.
I mean, like, I like the film, but it's like Andrew Stanton. Like, he does his Pixar stuff, and he's like, right, I'm going to do John Carter. That loses a shitload of money. It's like, right, I'm going to do Finding Nemo 2. Now another one's lost.
Yep.
I don't know. That's fucking weird. But anyway, I think that's it for me this week.
I watched... What else did I watch? Dark Crimes, a Nordic noir film starring Jim Carrey doing an accent.
Oh, what accent? What accent? Norwegian?
No.
Oh.
It appears to be, like, possibly Irish. Okay. Like if you took one of the accents he does as Count Olaf in Lemony Snickets, but put it in like a serious movie.
Sorry, babe. Talk loudly, honey. Okay.
Are you podcasting?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mummy just asked me if the toys could go in your Mummy's bed.
No, it's okay, Don. If they can go in Mummy and Daddy's bed. Why?
Because Mummy said they can't sleep in my bed.
Oh, Okay. If that's what Mummy said. Hang on, 2 ticks. Sorry, Don? Oh, yeah, I'm in the study, babe, yeah.
I'm not.
Yes, I am. I'm in the room we're currently in.
Oh. I'm going in the bedroom.
No, Lots, we're in the study, babe.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, okay, I'm gonna keep recording, okay, babe?
Okay.
Alright, love you.
What's this for?
It's a sweet.
Bill?
No, I'm okay. Lots, I kind of need to get on it, babe. I'm sorry. Alright, I love you.
Okay.
Alright, bye.
Daddy's in the study.
Yeah. So Count Olaf, yeah?
Yeah, Count Olaf.
Okay, good.
But in a Scandinavian noir crime film.
That sounds amazing.
I'll watch it.
That sounds great. Yeah, I'll watch that as well. Sorry, we're not in the bedroom. Yes, we are. It's just, no, we're not. She's a bit weirded out because I usually do this in the bedroom. I'm in the study now that the MacBook's gone. So yeah, she's just a bit weirded out by it, I think. Anyway, anything else?
Mary Shelley.
You do think it's going to be Mary Shelley's Mary Shelley, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
But it's not. It's just called Mary Shelley.
Yeah. Elle Fanning, yeah.
Wow, that's a boring trailer.
Okay, that's not.
It looks. It looks like. Do you remember when Marie Antoinette came out and everyone went, "Oh, look, it's Marie Antoinette," but done like MTV made it. This looks like Mary Shelley if I don't know, some fucking hipster YouTuber made it.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks fucking. It looks boring. I honestly, it's 2 minutes 17 seconds the trailer, and it felt like I was watching a 2-hour movie.
Oh Christ! All right, well, yeah, all right. Let's maybe never speak of that again then, unless it gets really, really good word, I suppose.
Which it won't.
Yeah,
it will disappear without a trace. So right, Ian, are you ready?
I am nervous. I am nervous. I will give it that. Sorry, 2 ticks. I'm a little bit distracted by something. What am I doing? Right. Sorry. I sold the MacBook, and eBay is for some reason saying that there's 2 packages that are apparently going to be delivered. It's like, well, I'm not selling 2 fucking laptops. Sorry, I'm ever so sorry about this. 2 ticks.
No,
right, I just need to send this guy a message. Fucking right. eBay, man. Fuck. Right. Actually, I see what you mean. I have no idea why it's showing 2 packages either. Right, take a photo. Fucking God's sake. Hang on, why is it showing? You fucking dick. Sorry about this. This is the right one. We'll try and get the other tracking details deleted. Sorry about that. Fucking no, that's a horrible picture. Fucking twat. I'm leaving this in, by the way. How's that? Right, there we go. Sorry about that. Yes, it is time. It is time. It is time.
Yes, it is time for Brad Payton's Rampage, which stars Dwayne Johnson, Naomi Harris, Marlene Ackerman, Jake Lacey, Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
George,
that nerdy guy that you mentioned earlier on, and it stars George, a albino gorilla. So it is based upon the arcade game Rampage, which does actually feature in the movie. Right, it stars Joe Manganiello as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it does.
Did you say Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
I did say Jeffrey Dean Morgan, yes. So Dwayne Johnson plays Davis Okoye, a head of an anti-poaching unit and kind of primate expert who saved George, this albino gorilla, when his parents were killed by poachers, and is now has helped raise him and has a great relationship with him, etc., in the times that they communicate via sign language and play jokes on each other, etc. And then some research is being done on genetic editing, which is banned, so a company is doing it in space.
Yep.
Their research crashes down and infects George, a wolf, and is it a crocodile or an alligator? I can't remember.
Either or.
It's a crocodile or an alligator, or possibly both. Who can say? The writers, probably. But they're not here, so fuck them.
I don't think they can, to be fair.
But fuck you, writers. Yes, and carnage and rampaging ensues. Ian, you built Rampage up a lot, haven't you? Now, here we go. Did it disappoint, or did it tick every box that you wanted it to tick?
It's exactly what you think it's going to be, whether that's a good or a bad thing, and for me, that was a very good thing.
Very good, because big meets bigger.
Yeah, no, I mean, big does meet bigger. My one major criticism is that I'm pretty sure that George doesn't actually appear in the film.
Not in the same way as it does in the trailer, no.
No, which is disappointing. But it's made up for by the repeated finger up, which I actually would never get bored of. I'd never get bored of George pulling that. It would be funny 500 times over. Just like fucking taking the piss and then sticking his finger up at the rock. It's immense, quite frankly. It is goofy, and yet kind of actually tries to be serious at points with its kind of city destruction, which is weird. The plot of the film I actually thought weirdly made sense, which is bizarre. But just the whole, like, why are they coming to that city? Oh, there's a fucking high frequency noise that only they can hear and they really don't like it. Cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
Malin Ackerman and Jake Lacey are cartoon characters, and that's fine. The Rock is ridiculous, which is great. He's just like, I just love the way that he's just absolutely infallible. But unlike Steven Seagal in The Mighty Under Siege 2, you do believe that he takes a bit of a beating through the course of the film, which is good. I had an awful lot of fun with this film, and at that point in the week, I needed that film, and I got exactly what I wanted, and it really cheered me the fuck up. I hope you liked it.
Right. I did, yeah. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I like the fact that it quite simply is. Well, for a start off, my thing here is, one, how the fuck is Rampage a 12A?
Yeah, it's pretty
gory.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly, isn't it? Yeah, it's weird.
Right? But also as well, I like the fact that it is quite literally, it is more aimed at kids than it is adults.
Yeah.
Because Melania Ackerman and Jake Lacey are cartoon characters completely. to the point of where I was watching it going, this is mental.
Yeah.
This is mental. How just literally the closest I could work out to what they reminded me of was the bad guy characters in the first Beethoven movie.
What, Duchovny and whoever the other one was?
Yeah, what's the name that was his girlfriend in Goodfellas?
Oh, Christ, yeah, all right.
Shit,
I know.
her.
Yeah.
Went from a weird cooking show on American TV at one point, where her and her husband just got shit-faced and cooked and had arguments.
Very
It
good.
was mental.
Very good.
Yeah, so I love that kind of fact about it. And there was, Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing what you, at first, you're like, oh, I don't like him. And then you start to, he wins you over really quickly. You're thinking, oh, at some point, though, he's going to turn back into being a wrong un. And he just doesn't.
No, I was such a fan of that. He's just a good dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yes, he's giving them a bit of shit at first, but then it's, no, do you know what? Like, I do feel sorry for you and your ape friend, and I am going to do the best I can for you because your heart's in the right place. And when science shits the bed, I'm the one who cleans up the sheets.
Yep. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is having such a fucking good time with this.
Yeah.
He in his mind, he's walking away from it, and the producers are going, "Can we have a spin-off with just that guy?"
I'd be down for that.
I'd be fine with that.
Fuck. We forgot the best film news of the week.
Are you? Yeah, a trailer that we've got to talk about.
Actually, two things. Fuck. Fuck. No. How did we forget?
Yeah.
No.
We did. We forgot a trailer, didn't we?
All right. Well, stop the review right now. Oh, the Meg. Oh,
The Meg.
the beautiful Meg.
Yep. Chomp on this.
Oh my God. Like, it just, yeah. How did we forget about the Meg? It's Statham versus Shark.
It's Statham versus a megalodon.
It just, we need it.
Yep.
And it's, for some reason, directed by John Turteltaub.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's a very, very odd, right, John Turteltaub's going to direct this, like, Chinese-backed big shark movie with Jason Statham. Okay.
Yeah. Is he? What?
Yeah. Oh, God, the Meg. That looks fun.
Yeah.
That looks mid-August as fuck. Like,
yeah, it does. It does. That looks like the sort of movie that somehow is going to make a shit ton of money, yet everybody who goes to see it is going to love it. So everyone who pays to go to see it is going to love it. Everyone who goes to a press screener is going to hate it.
Yeah, you can see that, for sure. No, I fuck the Meg. It looks great. But
yeah.
What I was referring to, so David Leitch, director of Atomic Blonde, has set his next film.
He has, yes.
It's the Hobbs and Shaw spin-off.
Yep.
That everybody wants more than the latest Fast and Furious film.
Yep.
And it's going to be the film of whatever year in which it releases.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing, and it's being written by Chris Morgan, who has written the last load of Fast and Furious films. So let's get it done. Yes,
yeah.
Please. Let's have it now.
Yeah. You look at it going, that's a really, really sensible. Do you know what? Yeah, that's the guy to direct that movie.
Yeah. And so anyway, back to Geostorm. Not back to Geostorm. Jesus Christ. And it's not even a Geostorm for me. Sorry.
Back to Rampage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love the fact that it's having a tremendous amount of fun, and it's pacey as fuck.
Yeah.
But again, San Andreas is really pacey as well.
Mm. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, it's. I would say maybe around the time after the plane crash, when they're just kind of stood about and there's, quite a lot of talking for about 10 minutes. Mm. It is a little bit like, did we really need this much talking? But then the talking stops again, and then it's just like it's kind of like really just barrels all the way through to the end without stopping.
Yep. It's an awful lot of fun. I love the the bit where Joe Manganiello goes after the wolf.
Mm.
There is a that I noticed, and at first I thought, no. And so I was sat listening really intently, and it happened again, where the soundtrack has a very, very definite nod to Predator.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Can you sing the theme tune?
No. But it definitely it does, because I thought, was that Predator?
What? Where it's like
I'm sat there listening, and I'm going, holy shit, it is. They've put a nod to Predator in the fucking soundtrack.
What? It's not a bit where it's like da 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 or anything like that, is it? Like,
it's not quite that bit. It's the bit kind of after that where it's the where it almost sounds like just it's essentially like fucking noises that you'd hear in a rainforest.
Okay,
but they're part of the what is it? And then it's definitely there because it happens a couple of times, and it's only in that bit. And I thought that's really quite cool.
Okay.
I really like. I also think the fact that the video game for Rampage is in the offices of the bad guys.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a big old thumbs up from me.
Yeah, I mean, it is exactly what you think it's going to be, and that's
it is
absolutely fine.
That's it. If you're predisposed to actually to think, I'm going to enjoy this, then you will.
Yeah, absolutely. It is just one of those ones where it's like if you don't like it, then you certainly have a stick up your arse.
That's it. If the thing is, my feeling with Rampage is, if you've gone to see Rampage and you've not liked it, my point there would be, why have you gone to see it then? Because if you went to see it because you wanted to go and see it, you're going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
If you've watched it but not liked it, you would never. It's because it's just not your type of film. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. Just not being your type of movie. That's fine. But I don't understand why anybody would pay to go watch something that they probably know they're going to dislike.
Yeah, I mean, and forgive me, that's kind of more what I meant. In if it's not your kind of thing, then cool, but you're not going to watch it anyway. But I mean, that's the thing. And I think the reviews have generally been, it's exactly what you think it's going to be, and that's a good or bad thing. Delete as appropriate.
Yeah, and it is that it's The Rock doing what he does. He's a very, very likeable screen presence. He can pull off the physicality of these kind of things, but he is also a very charismatic and quite funny guy as well.
Yep.
And he's kind of fine to pay second fiddle to a gorilla.
Yeah, and he's happy to do it, and good on him.
Yeah, it's it's a definitely not shit. It's nowhere near a Geostorm. It is absolutely a definitely not shit.
I mean, I'd go with that as well. Definitely not shit. Great deal of fun, just like an absolute blast. And I look forward to seeing it in 4K.
Yeah. So our poll on that, definitely not shit, 67%. Touching cloth, 0%. Shit, 22%, and Geostorm, 11%.
Okay.
I'm pretty fine with that. I think that's pretty much what I would have expected, really.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Yeah. Right, do you want to do Into the Night, then we'll do what we've been watching, and then we'll do Hurricane Heist?
Yeah, that'll do for me.
Cool, right. So Into the Night was a retro review. We very occasionally do these kind of things, but it was because I watched it last week, and Ian said that he'd seen it and was going to watch it. So we thought, hell, why not? Why not actually cover it in a little bit kind of more detail where we can both chat about it if we're going to watch it. Both have watched it anyway. So it's a John Landis 1985 film starring Jeff Goldblum, Michelle Pfeiffer, Richard Farnsworth's in there, David Bowie crops up. And Bruce McGill, Dan Aykroyd, sort of a bunch of people from movies around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Goldblum plays Ed Oken, a insomniac who finds out his wife's having an affair when he is he's fired from work, isn't he? Or is he? He's not fired from work.
No. He has a bit of a bad day at work.
He has a bad day and he's told to go home.
Yeah.
That's it. He's told he's too tired and needs to go home, and discovers that his wife's having an affair. That night, he decides he's going to drive to LAX because his friend, played by Dan Aykroyd, has said that if he can't sleep, why doesn't he just drive to the airport and go to Vegas? When he gets to LAX, he's sat in the car park and Michelle Pfeiffer turns up, having been he's running away from a gang of Iranians who are chasing her and have just stabbed the person that she was with. And it turns out that she is smuggling some jewels for these people, and kind of like it's a wacky, all happens over a couple of days film.
Yeah.
with plenty of cameos.
Yeah.
A lot of cameos, actually.
Indeed.
Just to list some of the cameos that are in this. David Cronenberg, Jonathan Demme, Amy Heckerling, Jim Henson, Lawrence Kasdan, and Don Siegel.
It's fucking weird.
Are just some of the people that crop up in this movie. Ian, what did you think of Into the Night?
So I have two major criticisms for Into the Night, which I want to address right away.
Yep.
One,
Yep.
I was annoyed that it didn't take place over the course of one night, even though the vast majority of it is set at night.
Yeah, I will absolutely agree with that. It should be a one-night movie.
Yeah. And two, the death of Michelle Pfeiffer's friend, where she gets chased by those guys and then drowned.
Yep.
A bit... Was that actually necessary? That's a weirdly fucking dark thing.
Yeah, it is a little bit dark, isn't it, in comparison because you to the rest of the movie, which is kind of quite fun.
Yeah, because that's the thing. The rest of it is fun, and those characters have been weirdly fun. Like,
yeah,
John, I was buying what John Landis was selling with his silent role in this film. Just him reading that GQ in the back of the car with the McDonald's shake or whatever it was good times. But then, like, that scene, it's this, like, no music, just running along the beach, and then drowning her, and then cutting to, like, her perspective while she's being drowned. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, that kind of seemed like John Landis cast this girl who looked like an ex of his, and he was working out some shit for a minute.
It is the only bit of the movie where you go, oh, so that's why that and a nude shot of Michelle Pfeiffer, why this movie's a 15.
Yeah, no, quite exactly. And I don't know, it was weird. But aside from that, it is one of those ones where it's like, where has this film been all my life? You know?
Yeah, it is very much so. Yeah, it's about 10 minutes into it. Not even 10 minutes into it. Before me and Bex watched it, we watched the trailer, which I thought, hang on a minute, a John Landis movie starring Goldblum and Pfeiffer and David Bowie from the mid-80s, and I've not seen it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll watch the trailer, because I might watch the trailer and go, oh, wait a minute, it's because it's shit. Watch the trailer, like, I can't work out why I haven't seen that movie.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like something I would have watched.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. And, you just, through the course of the film, I was like, when's this going to fall apart? When's this going to fall apart? When's this going to fall apart? And it doesn't.
Nope.
It's fun. Goldblum is... It's weird that you see Goldblum now, and then back then he was doing kind of like everyman roles.
Yeah.
And he does pull it off. There's not really a weird, like, an offbeat aspect to him here. He's just this guy who's tired.
Yeah, that's it. There's no... I think now we attribute Goldblumisms with being kind of like that, and a little bit kind of wacky, but not like, but wacky, but quite suave with it. Whereas it's just an everyman character, but it still has that Goldbloomy feel about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There is a kind of a Goldblum flavour, and just like there's an aspect of him where you could see like Michelle Pfeiffer's kind of into him, like because he's a little bit left of centre of Everyman, but he's still much more of a chill person than the kind of men that she's obviously been with.
Yeah, he's quite a nice guy who has a good, stable job, so he's a nice, intelligent guy who she sees is helping her, not because he's trying to sleep with her or anything like that. It's more just because his kind of thing is, well, I've got nothing else to do.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. I mean, there's that moment where she tries to give him the money. He's like, I can't accept that. And then it kind of, it's like something kind of like twigs with her about him at that moment as well. But I mean, it was interesting because obviously there's some comparisons to be made between this and After Hours. But After Hours is this fucking like almost nightmarish, like is this ever going to end? Like, and After Hours, a scene that really stands out to me. I've seen After Hours a couple times, but that scene where he's like in that bar at like 4 a.m, and there's that woman who like is like alone. He's basically dancing with her, and like she kind of seems to be like really into him, and he's almost going along with it because he's got nowhere else to go, and he just feels completely like hopeless, and so he's just with this woman in this bar. And I found it this really like weirdly disturbing moment, and you don't get stuff like that with Into the Night. It's not, and like just the way that shit builds up in After Hours. That film feels like a crescendo. Like just building and building and building. Into the Night has waves, and I like that. And it doesn't go for the strung out feel that After Hours does. And I mean, I think there are obvious reasons why that film feels the way it does from that director at that time. Yeah. But Landis is just he is just having fun, and there are serious moments, and that moment with the killing of the woman does feel tonally what the fuck. But the rest of it, there is tension there, but there's a release of the tension is never that far away, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it does feel like that. It's a little bit more kind of breezy than something like After Hours, in the sense that this is very much wearing its comedy out there. You've got Goldblum is Everyman, and Michelle Pfeiffer she's playing that quite, look, yes, I'm quite dangerous and everything like that, but I'm actually, I can get men to do this because I'm really hot, but also as well, I'm actually quite sweet.
Yeah.
And there is that. She's not quite femme fatale, and she's not quite Vixen, but she's not Girl Next Door either. Yeah,
no, there is that weird line with her. Yeah, no, absolutely.
And as well, we've got a David Bowie kind of cameo that's just when he first announces himself to Jeff Goldblum, he's like, "I've been watching you. You're really good." And Goldblum's got no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, what does he keep calling him? Oh,
I can't remember.
Because he keeps on calling him something else, doesn't he? Yeah, I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed that he was only in
2 scenes, really.
In 2 scenes, yeah, that was a shame.
It does feel. It feels so weird, but that scene where he first arrives and he's smiling at him and he just keeps nodding. That is the bit when I messaged you and you mentioned it, and I said that seems like literally at some point, probably in the mid-80s. Or the late 80s or something like that, Ricky Gervais watched this film and went, there we go. I'm going to base everything around... My entire life now is going to be based around that smirk.
yeah, it's a fair comment.
Ricky Gervais is a huge David Bowie fan. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the entire basis around Ricky Gervais, the character, is just that smirk.
It's just his fucking teeth as well. Like, there's not something right about the teeth.
Yeah, it's such an odd movie, but that every so often you get these weird kind of like older movies that for some reason isn't part of sort of popular culture like some movies from its time, that arrives on usually Netflix, to be honest, whereby a lot of people can watch it instantly. It's not something that somebody watched because they found a DVD copy of it, or they remember watching it when they were younger and saw it on ITV or something like that. It's a lot of people on social media can spread this. What is it? For instance, when Streets of Fire got its Blu-ray release, and there was a documentary on it, they literally said the reason why we did that is because the Netflix metrics for it were huge. It was really popular. So we thought, hang on a minute, if we take it off Netflix and release it on Blu-ray, like 6 months later, we can probably do a pretty decent special edition of it and people will buy it.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
You
Absolutely.
know, and things like that can happen. And you get the feeling that with something like this, it's just, it's waiting to be rediscovered.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it'd be great to see the metrics on this shit.
Yeah. Because it's, for the past few weeks, it's been really like high up in a lot of the sort of comedies and thrillers and 80s movies, all those little things, little menu bits. It's always been like number 2 or 3 on there, and recently added and recommended to you. It's been like there for me on all of these.
Yeah, that algorithm knows you, I think. Yeah,
it does. It really fucking does. It's freaky. I'm definitely not shit on this movie. I had a blast with it. Yeah,
no, absolutely. It's great fun. I look forward to seeing it again, frankly.
Cool. Our audience, definitely not shit, was 25%.
Okay.
Touching cloth 50% and shit 25%.
That's interesting.
That is really quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come at us, folks. Like, why? What wasn't working for you there?
Yeah, what didn't land for you?
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Right, Ian. Do you want me to give you a few of my what I've been watches, and then you can give me your one, or your one, and then I'll blast through. I'll give you a couple of mine then.
Yeah,
first.
sure.
Cool. Rewatched your Mark Mylod, Anna Faris and Chris Evans movie, What's Your Number, from 2011, back when Anna Faris was, of that previous power couple. She was the more famous one out of her and Chris Pratt. Although he does make a brief appearance in this movie. You've got Chris Evans and Chris Pratt squaring up against each other in this. It's a funny film. I watched it on Netflix or Prime, and it was just because I literally couldn't be asked to... Have you ever seen this?
No, I don't think I have, no.
Right, do you want to know what it's about then?
Yeah, go on.
To furnish your ears with that. So Anna Faris plays a character called Ali Darling, who's in her early 30s, and essentially she's had a string of bad kind of relationships, and her sister, played by Ari Grainer, is getting married, and she wants to bring her current boyfriend to that wedding, but he's kind of like, I'm not really sure that we're in that kind of place. And so she reads an article on the... so she's fired from her job, so she's got no boyfriend, no job, and is having kind of like that little bit of a quarter-life crisis. And she happens to read in Cosmo or something like that once you go above 20 sexual partners, that's when, it's too many, your chances of finding a husband decrease rapidly. So she decides to, instead of going for number 21, that what she's going to do is she's going to track down those 20 and see if one of those guys is the right guy for it.
Right, okay.
And the person who she enlists to help her on this is her neighbour across the hall, played by Chris Evans. And she basically says to him that she will help him get rid of girls that he's trying to get rid of that are at his apartment if he helps her find these guys.
Okay.
So yeah, it's quite charming. It's quite funny. It depends on your how much you like the comedy stylings of Anna Faris. If you get on with her quite well, then it's something you'll get on with quite well. Chris Evans is the standout in it. He's very good. But also, Chris Pratt turns up.
Yeah.
Martin Freeman turns up, so it's a bit of a...
Jesus, wow.
Yeah.
That was a few years back as well, okay.
Yeah. Who else is in there? Andy Samberg's in there. Anthony Mackie's in there as well.
Right.
Yep, so a lot of Marvel heads in this.
Yes.
Joe McHale is there.
So these are all ex-boyfriends, are they? Or like
yes.
ex-lovers?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, what's your number? It's the second time I've watched it, so it's obviously quite fun.
Okay.
What else did we watch? Rewatched Empire Records because we wanted to watch it, and she'd had a bit of a shitty day at school, I think it was, or something. And so we watched it with her because it happened to be Rex Manning Day as well. I usually twitch at those kind of things, like you've got to watch Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th and blah. No, watch movies when you want to watch them, not when fucking memes tell you to. So yeah, I really like Empire Records, but it is very much one of those movies, I think, where you have to have caught it at a certain point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll do one more, then I'll let you do your one, then I'll do my other three.
Okay.
Rewatch Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, how'd that go?
Really enjoyed it again on second watch. It's too fucking long. It's a good 20 minutes too fucking long. It really... I don't know where it is, but it does kind of... The bit where he gets before he climbs the Washington Monument bit there, and he's stuck in that room and he's getting to learn the suit and bits like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a good, I thought that was towards the end of the movie, and it's not. It's really quite early in the movie.
Yeah, it's like first third or so, isn't it? Maybe halfway through. And
it got to that, and I was like, oh, cool. It's at this bit quite early. I don't remember it being this pacey.
Yeah,
and then I paused it to go and grab a drink just before the bit where he's climbing the monument. I was like, holy shit, we're only like 40 minutes in. There's like another nearly fucking 2 hours of this movie. What the shit? So, yeah, it needs to be fucking... It could have been shorter, but, yeah, it's a lot of fun. The bit with Michael Keaton, where he discovers that he's Spider-Man, is great.
Yeah.
I do
in
think
that car. Oh.
Yeah.
Good times.
The whole MJ Zendaya character, I did think on rewatch, is really fucking clumsy.
Yeah,
Her character feels like it's out of a different movie.
Yeah, it does a bit.
And I don't think it's not because she's bad in it or anything like that, but it's just she just kind of crops up, and she's a little bit too meh about everything. That it don't quite feel right. They just kind of like keep going to her, and she says like 2 or 3 lines, and then it swoops back to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just felt that she just didn't feel quite right. But it's not. Again, it's not her performance, because her performance is fine. It's just the character feels a little bit. See what you're trying to do there, but it just didn't land for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then the funny bits landed again better, I think. The bit where he's interrogating Donald Glover is great.
That's pretty great. Like when he comes up to him with the voice change stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always great seeing Marissa Tomei in anything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right, go on then. What was your one other film?
So my one, it was a bit of a double bill of bank related stuff, along with Hurricane Heist, which obviously we'll talk about in a minute, but or in a bit. The Vault.
Is that the one that's on Netflix that's got Franco in it?
Yeah.
He does some random stuff, doesn't he?
It is the continuing adventures of what the fuck is James Franco up to.
Because he's also in a film that looks like a reality TV star turned singer has released a extended music video called Future World, and it stars James Franco, Snoop Dogg, and Mila Jokovic.
Fucking hell! Like, it just, I'm looking it up now. I just want to see if I can connect, like the director with Franco, and not really. No, not really.
Dan Bush.
Yeah. I'm trying to look now. He's directed something called Fight, Fuck, Pray in 2008. Okay.
Weren't you the guy who did The Signal?
Yeah. Yeah, he did one of the sections in The Signal, yeah. By the looks of it. Yeah. So, anyway, the Vault, yeah. What the fuck is Franco doing? Because it doesn't seem like he's one of those ones that has a lot of tax bills to pay or something. Like he's not on Nicolas Cage, you know. But and yet he does appear in some random shit.
Yeah, like he got high at a party and agreed to be in this guy's movie.
And I mean, like, you know, he's got this tash, and so basically, story is there's like a bank robbery, and a load of hostages are taken, and essentially the downstairs of the bank's haunted.
Of course it is.
Yeah, exactly. And because I didn't know what the story was going in, and then like there's a bit where one of the robbers is posing as like a job applicant, and the manager's interviewing. Sorry, the manager's interviewing her, and the manager's like, this is going to sound weird, but just to put it out there, some people, you know, a lot of our tellers go very quickly because they get freaked out by things. They think they see things. I was just like, hang on, is this a haunted bank film? and it's like, this is a haunted bank film. So, like, the hostages and whatnot are all, like, there. And James Franco basically is this, like, the assistant manager. And he says, you
get the feeling that he was the manager and James Franco went, no, I want to be the assistant manager.
Yeah.
It's too much responsibility for the manager. They've gone, it's not real, James.
I wouldn't be surprised. And, he was like, I think this is the kind of mustache an assistant manager would play.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, I'll help. I'll help you out. You got to disable the alarms and blah blah blah. And there's $6 million in the vault downstairs, and so obviously that gets the robbers like thinking, oh. And then they go downstairs, and then kind of some horror-y type stuff happens, and then the final 10 minutes is two completely separate sequences, just kind of like chopped together, like really haphazardly edited, where you've got a couple of the characters in one section, and then a reveal being explained over the course of way too long over the other section. And it was just like, right, okay, I know that's what's happening. I know that's what's happening. I know that's what's happening. Okay, cut back to this thing. I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. And then back to the other thing. I know what's happening. You don't need to keep on spelling it out. And then back to the other thing. I know what's going to happen. And then you're told what happened. And then another thing happens and then it ends. And it's just like, right, okay, fine. Why? Just why are you in this, James Franco? Like, it just, his part is just this guy it's just he's an assistant manager and he has some involvement in the plot. Why are you here, James Franco? And it's mental. I really, really, really don't understand it. Yeah, I mean, it just fuck me, man. He's in so much stuff.
He is in an oddly weird amount of just crap, isn't he?
Like, it's weird. What the fuck is Blood Heist? He's a character called Farmer Simon in something called Blood Heist. Right, what else? Blood Ride. He's Billy. Billy in Blood Ride. Like, just what? Blood
Surf, Metalhead Tony.
Like, he's doing, like, what is he up to? What is he up to? Why is he in, like, 3 films last year called Blood Something? The Mad Whale. Right, what is he in The Mad Whale? Inmates at a women's mental asylum stage a theatrical production of Moby Dick. What? What?
He does an awful lot of weird stuff.
He's a character called Dude in Naya, Legend of the Golden Dolphin.
He's got 2 directed movies coming out this year as well.
I'm sure he does. Like,
3. He's got 3 completed directed movies.
He directed this Future World thing. Well, he's one of the directors.
He's one of the directors. He's also got one called Pretenders, starring Juno Temple, Dennis Quaid, and Jane Levy, and Brian Cox, and Val Kilmer's son.
Right.
Then he's got that Zeroville as well.
And what the fuck's The Long Home? The Long Home, a young contractor is hired to build a honky-tonk in Tennessee by the man who killed his father.
He fucking works.
But I just... Fuck it, that's a cast. Ashton Kutcher, Josh Hartnett, Josh Hutcherson, Garrett Dillahunt, Giancarlo Esposito.
Wow, that literally is a list of people who never quite made an A-list.
Timothy Hutton, there's another.
Again, a list of people who never quite made the A-list.
Like, what is he up? He's a fascinating guy.
He is, isn't he? It's all power to him, because it's odd, the weird stuff that he does.
It's... And yet... he might also be a bit of a creep.
He probably is a bit of a creep.
He's in the vault, and the only reason why I watched the film is because it was like, what is James Franco up to in this one then? And it's a really boring role.
Because I remember a few years ago when he was in Homefront, and we were like, why is James Franco in a Jason Statham movie written by Sylvester Stallone? This makes no sense. Now you're looking at it going, actually, that makes so much fucking sense now.
Oh no, absolutely. But it's just why? Just why? Because he didn't. I don't think he produced the Vault.
He don't. I had a look.
And so that's the thing. He's just in this film, this weird fucking film, and yet the guy doesn't. I don't think he needs the money.
I doubt he does.
And yet there he is. But then again, shit, man. I mean, he was in Mother May I Sleep with Danger, for Christ's sake. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, The Vault. It's not very good. Oh, by the way, Taryn Manning's in it, and like, just guess what role she plays?
What?
Oh, she's a bit trailer parky.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah. She's a bit hickey. I would like to see that woman push herself.
It's not gonna happen.
No, probably not. Yeah, there we go. The Vault. Don't watch it.
Fair enough. Right, what should I do first? We watched Wedding Crashers.
Okay. How is that in this day and age?
How's Wedding Crashers in this day and age? Wow, it's really fucking weird. You kind of watching it going, right, okay, right. So, at the time, these were fun guys who, and this film's 13 years old, which is insane, right? But at the time, this was, two big comedic stars, in Wilson and Vince Vaughn, and they played these best friends who, what they did was they crashed weddings, pretended to be other people, essentially asleep with women, right? All the hilarity, and then they end up falling for these two women and going along this journey. And then you've got Bradley Cooper's character, who is essentially, if you could write rich white man boy toxic masculinity, it would be that character. And you look at it going, yeah, he's such a dick. He's horrible at fucking women. He's hyper aggressive. Only gives a shit about himself. All of these bad things. And then now you're looking at it going, wow, nobody comes out of this well at all in this movie. Everybody fails some kind of life test in this fucking movie now. But it is still quite amusing at points. It is still funny. You watch it going, do you know what? I don't give a shit if I'm not allowed to laugh at this. It's quite funny. There's great moments of, and it reminds you that Vince Vaughn can be really fucking funny. There's a great moment where he's loading up a plate for breakfast, and he quite literally is just putting everything that's on the table on it, and then just pours syrup all over it, including over a muffin that he hasn't unwrapped yet, which has always baffled me in that.
Yeah.
And then you've got Will Ferrell crashing funerals, which is just mad. And not only that, it's like 2 hours long.
That flick is fucking long. That's my overriding memory of Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, it's 2 hours long. It's really long, but it's really entertaining. But I feel like now, if you were to like meet, if you were around, I don't know, you were out having drinks and you mentioned, that you really enjoyed Wedding Crashers, if there was somebody there who was possibly female, possibly not, but under the age of like 24, and you explained it to them, they'd be going, that sounds fucking horrible. And you'd have to say, yes, it does sound horrible. Yes, it probably is horrible. But early noughties comedy was a strange place.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Old School, where Luke Wilson accidentally sleeps with a 16-year-old girl? And, oh, wait. Holy shit, yeah. A lot of early noughties comedy was horrible, wasn't it? Yeah. But, yeah, it's still quite amusing. I had a good time rewatching it. And to be honest, me and Becky still quote to each other frequently. It's become part of our daily vernacular. Lock it up.
Yeah, okay.
That gets said daily, virtually, at some point.
Oh, okay.
So Wedding Crashers would be despised, and there's no way it'd have made $285 million if it was released now. But it did.
Was that worldwide or US?
Worldwide.
Yeah, okay, no, I thought that was
off a $40 million budget.
Yeah.
I wonder what Wedding Crashers Rotten Tomatoes is right now, and if you just sort of ask people to go back and rewatch it and just see it fucking plummet.
It's like where you get adjusted for inflation. It's almost adjusted for wokeness.
Yeah. The wokey scale.
Yeah. Apply the woke algorithm and watch it drop.
Yeah. So that was Wedding Crashers. I've got two more. a serious one that's a new one, and a not serious one that I fucking adore, and I'm pretty sure you do as well.
Okay.
That I'll come to in a second, that I rewatched and haven't watched in a while, but rewatched and went, fuck, that's a good movie.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk first about Catherine Bigelow's Detroit.
Oh, yeah, you did watch this, didn't you? Go. Yeah, you have opinions. Yeah.
Right. So, Detroit is written by Mark Bowl and directed by Catherine Bigelow. It stars John Boyega, Will Poulter, John Krasinski, Anthony Mackie, Ali Smith, Jason Mitchell, and is about the Algiers Motel incident in Detroit during the riots in 1967. Now, on all the surface of that, when all that came out, that was what was happening, everybody kind of said, right, so that's going to be in the Oscars mix in 2017. Mm-hmm. And it was released.
And then it wasn't.
And nobody talks about it, really, at all. And it's 2.5 hours long, but a lot of Oscars movies are 2.5 hours long, let's be honest, aren't they? So you can kind of get away with that. Fucking hell, comic book movies are 2.5 hours long nowadays, so you can't blame it on that. So what can you blame it on? Is it that, you've got a white journalist turned film writer writing and a white female filmmaker making a film about what could you could very highly argue is an African American event, certainly with that. But I don't think it's that. I think it's that the opening of the movie, and it is very much 3 acts, this movie. You've got events leading up to the incident, and then the events after the incident. And I think the weird thing about this movie is they just about get the events leading up to it right. It's clumsy and it's chaotic, but I think that's a stylistic choice. I think they're trying to do that. They're trying to get over that. Look, this was fucking weird. This was before. It was a weird time. It was still when segregation was rife, and it was. You've got to look at it through these eyes rather than your eyes now, because what we're going to show you in a minute is wrong, no matter whose fucking eyes you're looking at it from.
It builds well. I remember it being the first act is not the problem with that film.
No, I think the incident bit is very strong. Mm-hmm. It's very fucking strong, and if you'd have said to me, I was very much on the John Boyega. I don't understand it. He's really boring in the Star Wars things, and he just wandered around looking morose under an underground tunnel that nobody fucking knew of in the Circle. But then he was charismatic as fuck and a lot of fun in Pacific Rim, and he's really fucking good in this. But Will Poulter is fucking terrifyingly fantastic as just a thoroughly reprehensible guy who at no point thinks he's in the right, I don't think. I think he's not quite on the fucking warpath. He's just a guy who has got way too much power at way too young an age and doesn't know how to control it, and gets himself in a situation where the only thing he can do is try and scare people into doing what will get him out of it.
That's a good way of putting it, that. Yeah, absolutely.
But the problem is he's not got the maturity or the intelligence to get himself out of it, but he does have the authority and the aggression, and I suppose bravado, I think, would be as close as I could get to the word, that you could see why people would be going, right, well, we're gonna stick with this guy because he seems to know what he's not doing. But then it leaves the incident and goes on for way too fucking long. Way too long.
I thought the incident was going to be the film.
Yeah, it should have been the film.
And then...
You could have made a really tight 105-minute fucking really great movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then you don't. You end up shooting yourself in the foot by trying to show the travesty of it by focusing on one character.
Mm-hmm.
And it just misses, it ends up missing the point so much that it loses itself. And that 40 minutes in the middle that is fantastic acting and fantastic filmmaking and is Pete Bigelow, that it loses it, because you've then got following him into join a choir. And I know that what they're trying to say is, before this incident happened, he was about to be a fucking Motown star. And then the incident affects him so much that he spent the rest of his life singing in a choir. And I get that.
Mm.
But that became the story, not the incident. And the incident should have been the story.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's. I was just looking at my Letterboxd review there, and I was just talking about how it peters out at the end. You know, and you think it's going to be this really vital, angry piece of cinema, but then, and Frank, because I think I remember when I talked about it a couple months back, I was saying it's one of those ones where I do think if a black filmmaker had directed it, maybe there would be more urgency and rage to it. Whereas this does feel like white people saying, "Isn't this terrible?"
Mm.
You know?
Which, I can absolutely, see that argument. But yeah, it doesn't feel. It feels nasty, but it doesn't feel angry.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's because Catherine Bigelow's a wonderful director with making tense as fuck, claustrophobic pieces of work, and that's where Detroit is at its best.
Yeah, I mean, a good 40 minutes of it is set in a tiny corridor.
Mm-hmm.
It's mental that you've got 40 minutes set in a corridor.
And just the way, like, he kind of peer pressures that guy into killing
Will Poulter's face when he's come out and he's talking to him, he's saying about that, and then the door swings back open and he say, "What do you mean you didn't think you could do it?" And it's the shame of that movie is, if that movie would have been a bit better, then Will Poulter would have got more recognition for that role.
If that film was better received, or even if it came out a couple months later in the year, there would have been Oscar talk for him, I think.
And he should have, because he is fantastic in that movie.
Yeah, he's really, really fucking good.
Yeah. And also John Boyega is also very, very good. And it's mental that is that you've got at the centre of this, what is it? You've got three British actors in them two, and the girl who was in Skins randomly.
Oh yeah.
He was also quite good in it.
Hannah Murray, is that her?
That's the one. Yeah. So yeah, Detroit. I'm glad I've watched it. It's not the sort of film you're ever going to enjoy, but yeah, it just misses. Yeah. Which is a real shame.
Oh, that's right. Jack Rayner's in it as well, isn't he? Fucking, that's random. Yeah, no, it's that film was a swing and a miss. That I don't know. It just that final act. It is just what fuck it. Yes, it is an injustice. And I don't mean it as fucking out like stop banging on. It's not that. It's like it's an injustice, but show it in the fucking meat of it, of the fucking show us the shit. Not
that is a movie that is allowed to shout at you and tell you off.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it. And it at the end, it almost feels like it's just like hands around the world. Isn't this awful? You know that this happened to these people. You know, and you know, I'd rather it be, isn't it awful that this fucking happened to us? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
It could quite easily be. I wouldn't mind being told off by that movie, because that movie should be telling people off.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it.
Whether or not it's telling you off, or it's telling you off for not being more annoyed about it.
Yeah. No, exactly. No, fair enough. Detroit's a fucking disappointment. It is.
It is, unfortunately, which is weird, because it's still overall a good film.
Yeah, it is. I 3.5 out of 5 on my Letterboxd review, and I think I'd go with that, because the majority of it is strong. It's just when it tails off, it really fucking tails off.
Yeah. A movie that doesn't tail off.
Oh, lovely. Yes, let's do this.
A spectacular movie.
Uh-huh.
A movie that at some point, probably in 10 years' time, will start to get the recognition it should have fucking got when it was released in 2007.
Right.
A magnificent movie.
Yes.
Directed by one of our favourite filmmakers.
Yes.
Stars.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Jason Bateman. Common.
Yeah.
Andy Garcia.
Oh, yeah.
Taji P.
That's
Henson.
a good shout, this.
Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Matthew Fox.
Uh-huh.
Common.
Yeah.
What is it?
Smoking Aces. I need to fucking watch this again. Yeah, good shout.
I worried.
Good shout.
When I rewatched this the other night, I worried and said, fucking hell. What if it's a bit shit?
Yeah.
What if everyone else was right about this movie and I was wrong?
No, and then I watched it. Yeah.
I watched it and said, no, I was right about this movie and everyone else is a cunt.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's fucking fantastic. I love the fact that Smoking Aces is a thriller. Is a thriller that's masquerading as a mad action film, because it has mad action in it, but it's also a really fucking taut crime thriller at the same time. It's Joe Carnahan having lots of fun, but also being a really smart filmmaker at the same time. And it's mental. On the surface of it, you could be fooled for thinking, oh, well, it's just kind of that post-Tarantino-y, all these things going off and it all explodes at the end and then this happens. But it's not. It's a fucking great movie. With that cast is insane, because it's before people started to appreciate the wonder of Ryan Reynolds. It's before Ben Affleck had his renaissance thing. It's Ray Liotta, just basically Ray Liotta. It's Chris Pine, very early Chris Pine, when he was doing that character actor thing he does.
He was doing the character actor thing before he did the blockbuster thing, and then went back to the character actor thing. Yeah,
and he's fucking great in this. And I was seeing a thing where, think about it, where Joe Carnahan said about it, and said to, Ben Affleck said to Joe Carnahan, they did one shot. There's a scene where Ben Affleck's dead essentially, and Chris Pine's moving his mouth for him as he's saying something to him. Apparently, Ben Affleck turned around to Joe Carnahan after that was shot and said, "Where the fuck have you found this kid? He's going to be fucking huge."
Yeah, nice.
It's mental. How fucking good is this kid? And it is, but it's Smoking Aces is fucking great. It really, really holds up.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes. What was this on?
It's on Netflix, I believe.
Okay, very good. Okay,
I'm sure it is. Yeah,
I might have to do that.
Yeah, you should, because it's a fucking great time. It's Smoking Aces. Ian, we ready for it?
Yeah, let's get this done, man. Let's get going.
Hell.
Yeah,
nice. The Hurricane Heist is directed by Rob Cohen, And it was released theatrically, whilst at the same time being released on Sky Cinema the same day. Stars Toby Kebbell, Maggie Grace, Ryan Quanten, and Ralph Ineson. Which is really fucking weird.
Yes, it does.
What's the story? Toby Kebbell is a meteorologist whose father died during a hurricane. So he's grown up studying hurricanes, but he's also terrified of them. And he has this badass fucking, essentially, tank
Batmobile, basically.
Yeah, basically a Batmobile. And if Batman went, I need to build something that can withstand a fucking hurricane. So yeah, he's got that. And yeah, this coastal town that also happens to have a treasury recycling facility or something where they burn old money.
They shred money for some fucking reason.
Yeah, they shred old money. Maggie Grace is a treasury agent who it seems has been bumped down to just driving a truck to and fro this place. Mm-hmm. And what would you know it? Ralph Ineson's a baden who is trying to rob the treasury of $600 million using the hurricane as cover.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
We'll point this out. The hurricane doesn't happen to happen whilst the heist is going on. The hurricane is part of the heist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were waiting for they were taking a chance on the hurricane.
Yeah, Ian, the hurricane heist. What did you think?
Okay, so I'll be honest. I don't think I'm as high on it as I think you are. I'm just going to throw that out there. It's like Rampage, where it is exactly what you think it's going to be, good or bad, delete as appropriate. But for me, it was like, it's a bit shit. But like the thing, I'm not quite going to go Geostorm either. Like, spoiler alert for my rating, I am going to say definitely shit. But it's not an aggressively shit film. It's just ropey, and it's like, yeah. Okay, it's just Sky Cinema's like, right, what are Amazon doing? Oh, they're funding Woody Allen and they're funding Richard Linklater and okay, what Netflix doing? Oh, they're doing Bong Joon-ho films and Noah Baumbach. What can we do? Get on the mobile. Rob Cohen, what are you up to? It's. I mean, obviously there wasn't that. They bought. I just I can imagine the distribution people in the UK just being like, "Fuck off! No, what? No, Rob Cohen's latest with Maggie Grace and Ralph Ineson. No, you're all right, thanks." And then Sky Cinema are just like, can we use the same font as Fast and the Furious in the advertising? Yes, you've got yourself a deal. Deary me. I mean, it doesn't, bless them, it doesn't have the budget for what it's going for. There are some fun moments, like the bit in the mall where it's like, right, they're waiting for the atmospheric pressure to build up, and then it's like go, and it just sucks the people out of the fucking mall. And yet the brother manages to hang on. It's, yeah. I don't know. I watched it. I watched it on a Sunday. I was quite chilled out, and it did its thing. But I'll be honest, Rampage was more my bag. Never mind. But the Batmobile bit I quite liked. Just the do you trust me? It's like what the fuck's going to happen? It's just like, I'm going to stop the car. That's basically it. I'm just going to stop the car and let them ram into us. I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah.
Fuck it, just let him ram into us because my car's harder than yours is. The ending, you know, like it's quite fun. Ralph Ineson just gets fucking exploded.
Yep.
It's great, you know. I mean, good on you, Mark. I know you loved it, and I'm good on you, is what I'm gonna say.
Yep. Yeah, the thing is, it's kind of ticking my boxes.
It is.
The fact that it's a movie with a lot of weather in it, and I like movies with a lot of weather in it. I also quite like heist movies, and so this has got both. I like the fact that it focuses so much on the weather as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I had a good time with it. I thought it was, it had me from. I went in with very low expectations. Like really low.
Well, how dare you?
But going, right, as long as it rains a shitload and I actually get like a proper fucking hurricane, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And I got 2 hurricanes.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So
by the way, sorry, the skull face in the fucking hurricane in those 2 moments.
Yep.
My word.
Yep.
Bravo. Sorry.
Yeah, the weirdness of those 2 hackers.
I love those 2.
I like those 2.
They were just really into each other, and good on them.
Yeah. The fact that they turned up totally overdressed for what they were doing. Yeah, I had a really good time with it. I thought it had a lot of action. It was pacey. It was fun. Toby Kebbell was great. I even quite like Maggie Grace in it, which is weird because usually I think she's fucking terrible.
Yeah, she was quite spunky. I liked her. Yeah,
she was quite badass in it, I thought. But yeah, the thing is, there's not that much to say about it because it literally is a heist that happens during a hurricane.
It is. You certainly get what you paid for.
Yep. So that's about it. So yeah, I had a blast with it. I really liked it. I will watch that again.
I won't, but I'm glad that you will.
But then again, I'm somebody who has seen Hard Rain 7 or 8 times, so yeah.
I mean, like Toby Kebbell's like giving it a go.
Yep.
You know, I mean that's the thing. The cast all seem like they know what they're in. You know, Ryan Kwanzon's quite good value there. I thought for sure he was going to get killed off halfway through, and he doesn't. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a little long. It's what, like an hour 40, and you got that whole thing with like the sheriff trying to fucking usurp Ralph Ineson.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit like, well, we didn't really need that, did we? You know, let's cut back on that a little bit. And yeah, I just that bit in the mall is fucking amazing. Like how are we going to get through this situation? I know, we'll let a hurricane in. Yeah, you know, and like I say, it's not aggressively shit, but it is shit.
I'm definitely not shit on it, but I freely admit that I'm probably in the minority for this. I just don't care.
What's the poll? I am very interested in what the poll's saying.
The poll, definitely not shit. 29%.
Okay. There's some people with you.
Touching cloth 14%.
Mm-hmm.
Shit 52%.
Okay.
And Geostorm 5%.
Okay. How many votes?
21.
Fucking hell, really?
Yep.
Wow. All right. Thank you, 21 people. Fair play. Okay. Very good.
Cool. Right. We don't have any questions this week. So fuck you guys.
Yep.
Ian, what are we covering next week?
It is the quietest week for film releases in fucking months. Because of Avengers.
Right, Avengers out the week after it. Well, the Thursday, isn't it?
The only thing of note that I can see is that I don't know whether you've seen the trailer for this. I saw it a couple of times last week in front of Ghost Stories in a Quiet Place. Wildling. It's this fucking horror film that Brad Dourif and Liv Tyler are in.
Oh yeah.
And for some reason, the last Insidious film is getting a re-release with an extra scene.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird. I don't get what that is.
Okay.
Yeah. So, to be honest, I don't really know what we're going to cover next week.
We'll cover something, though. We know that, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, we'll cover something, but like literally, what? Right. So, what is on in Cineworld this weekend? Rampage, Ready Player One, Peter Rabbit, A Quiet Place, Truth or Dare, Love Simon, Ghost Stories, Isle of Dogs, Duck Duck Goose, Death Wish, Blockers, Pacific Rim Uprising, Tomb Raider, Black Panther, Greatest Showman. What the fuck's Every Day? Every Day tells the story of Rhiannon, a 16-year-old girl who falls in love with a spirit named A travelling soul who wakes each morning in a different body, living a different life every day. What the fuck? That sounds mental. Okay. Oh
yeah, I've not got listings up yet.
The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, which is the worst fucking name for a film. The Leisure Seeker, it's a new Helen Mirren one.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Oh, Helen Mirren and Donald Sutherland. Yeah, alright.
Donald Sutherland, before he says every line, is going to tilt his head to the right
and
then say his line.
Yeah, and Wildling. So, a teenage girl's coming of age comes with a terrifying twist in this spellbinding take on the werewolf legend. Yeah.
I have to see if I can see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that bothered about that, to be honest. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't mind actually catching up with Truth or Dare. But I don't know how good a review that'll make. We'll fucking think of something, like you say.
Yeah, we'll work some out.
Yeah. It's a quiet one before Avengers, and then it kind of
really quiet one.
So, yeah, I mean they're all running scared, and Avengers comes out on the Thursday. I could see why they're a little bit like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
So there you go. Cool.
Right. So that was episode 252. Is there anything we've forgotten, Ian?
No. Happy episode 10-year anniversary, sorry, to Chinstroker versus Punter.
Yes, happy 10-year anniversary. Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Mental, is that?
Yes, it is. And I'm glad that I was an inspiration to Mike in all walks of life.
Yes.
It was touching. It was touching. I will always be an inspiration to Mike, I'm sure.
I'm sure you will, especially with your new The Rock inspired hair.
Oh, fuck it! It just needs to grow back. It can just grow back quickly, please. Anyway, yeah, that is it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening, guys. DudeTheMonkey.com, @DudeTheMonkey, @IanLoring, @DudeFoz. We will speak to you next week with something.
Fuck knows what.